like girls.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Seriously. Hello everyone, my name is the Starlight Bear, and today I'm gonna have to say this because I'm not exactly happy with this fucking shit with Stranger Things. Look, I'm not happy with how the final season has left. I watched it. Watched the first 4 episodes. I found some of them pretty good, some of them pretty boring. Then we had the whole the other like 3-episode part that came out. And then you had the infamous, as you saw earlier, I don't like girls, I'm gay scene from Will. Okay, look, I don't care that that he came out as gay. I don't care. Good on you, mate. You're gay. Congratulations. You're gay. Get the fuck over it. It's been shoved down everyone's throats for fucking so long. And as a gay man myself, yes, I'm gay. I found it a bit repulsive myself. When that started, the whole time, like, it was like, what was it? 5 to 6 minutes or something? It was like, it went longer than the final episode of them fighting the Mind Flayer and Vija, or whatever the fuck his name is. And I'm literally pissed off because it's like, mate, you are dealing with the end of the fucking world. The Dimension X is going to be falling from the sky, merging into the fucking real world. Like, I'm sorry, but how was that going to work? Because if 2 planets crash into each other normally, both planets will be destroyed and remade into a new planet. Or you'll have to do something from a book. I can't think of what that book is, where it merges like 5 or 6 different worlds into one massive world, and a bunch of like humans and other things are all living in the same world. God, that's gonna bother me until I know what that book is called again. I can't think of it. But it's just like seriously. Then you got Derek, this little shit face fudger. That, remember the scene when Max and Holly had to go through the cave in for a tight opening? How the fuck is he going to fit through that? They didn't show it, but he apparently fit through it fine. Did all the other kids have to slave away making an opening big enough for his ass to get through? Well, I'm sorry, but the amount of plot holes and shit that was left in this, I am not happy. Okay, I want to see what that is in a minute, so I'm going to open that. They should have, apparently there was the other script, the original script where it would have been better. They should have done that script, not this bullshittery. I'm sorry, Dell Brothers, or who the fuck you two are, because they're brothers. You two are fucking morons to be doing this shit. It is pathetic. Well, I'm sorry. Why is it there? Okay, that's interesting. I do want to watch it as well. I am interested in it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Look, I'm not exactly happy with how this last season has gone. I do want to have a talk about that as well, about how they could have done a better way to tell him was gay. And the time skipping was not necessary. Like, a lot of time, like, if they were going to do time skipping, done it in a way where it actually goes, like, you see, like, them doing, like, Hopper going in, if not finding Vecna. Yeah, that's it, Vecna. In the upside down dimension that is technically a wormhole bridge that has never been a wormhole bridge before. So it's like, what tomfuckery is this? And it doesn't explain how Russia, in season, no, it was underneath the town. Yeah, well, yeah, underneath the town, but then Russia opened up their own one there. Yeah, didn't they? I'm I'm misremembering some things. I need to scratch up on a bit of my knowledge of my Stranger Things, because I remember there was a Demogorgon in Russia where Hopper was trapped in Russia. I think they had a gate there. Actually, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's get back onto this. Um, so I'm a novice writer. I do want to show you a book that I have published. And a book that I am writing on at the moment. And just to show you, this is basically just my thoughts and takes on how I feel about this verse to how I done my story writing to this. Like, it could be, my story writing could literally be fucking shit, but I will always be, at the end of the day, happy that I've done something I always want to achieve. One of my own personal achievements was to write a book, and that's what I did. Alright, let's just quickly have a watch this Unsubscribing for the Drama.
Beat nuts, Mr. Meth. You know how we do. Se acabó.
Okay, I don't think I could. Yeah, I'm sorry. How the hell, with the weapons they got, that able to fight that fucking thing? And with her not there. And then you got this scene as well. With fucking. With him. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this very closely. Steve, that's his name. I am that pissed off with this. You're not gonna show it? Not gonna show. All right, let's go back. All right, so you got Steve that was thrown over to the edge here. You got whoever this Michael or whoever the fuck this guy is, and John is the others are over there. And like, I'm sorry, but where the hell? He should be dead. They all change positions as well. Like, that is such a fucking cop out. That is such a bloody cop out that on what they've done. It is. All right, I'll show you my book. Yes, a bit of a bit of a shameless plug-in with my book. Called World Seedling. All right, so you got the main character Noah, in a town. Not going to really go into it, but let's just have a read of this. When you guys listen. Noah's fingers brushed against the edge of his satchel as his gaze remained locked onto Reeve. He crept further into the ruined hall. The blade in the councilman's hands trembled, not from fear, but from some inner strain, as though his very bones were being tested by the madness knotting his spine. His clothes, once formal, now hung from his gaunt frame, like Drake soaked it in mildew and desperation. You hear it, don't you? Ree's voice cracked, eyes wild. The breathing, the whispers. It's in all of us now. Noah edged the other step backwards, boots scraping against slick tile, bring him closer to the pulsating, heaving pod behind him. He could hear it too, a wet, irregular thud, like something large and fluid scraping against the inside of a membrane. Each beat, a fleshy thud, slow and deliberate, like the heavy fist of something ancient testing its cage. Reeves' eyes snapped it wider as if possessed it. Don't turn your back on me, he roared, lunging forward. Noah reacted on instinct. He tore open the satchel and grabbed the first object. His hands found a dull, round seed, radiant, faint heat. Not a weapon, not the right choice, but maybe enough. Reed's blade slashed it out, catching the fabric of Noah's sleeve and grazing his arm. Fire ballooned beneath his skin, pain sparking hot and intimate. With a grunt, Noah twisted and slanted his shoulder into the other man, forcing both of them off balance. The rotten floor groaned beneath their weight. Then the pod behind them screamed. A high, shrill wail erupted through the chamber, wet and unnatural. It rattled the bones of the walls, cracked at the windows further, and dropped the glass like rain onto the floor. Reeve reeled back, clutching his ears, straggling with wide, unblinking eyes. Noah seized the moment, shoved at him hard, sending the councilman sprawling across the rooted, warped tile. The pod convulsed behind him. Its swollen surface rippled, skin-like and diseased, before slipping open in a jagged tear. It wasn't just a wound, it was a birth canal. A limb spilled it out, elongated, skeletal, glistening with black nucleus. Then the other, twitching, oh my goodness, I can't speak. I'm trying my best, sorry guys. Failing. Something was crawling its way out, slotching fluid and rot with each movement. It wasn't finished forming, not even close. Reed froze, jaw slack, his knife slipped from his grasp, clanking to the floor. No, it wasn't meant to. A tendril snapped like a cable under tension. The shape inside arched, its spine outlining gruesomely through the tart membrane before it split with a rupture and a wet, shuddering exhale. The sound was biological and primal, lungs deflating after holding their breath for a century. Steam gushed out in humid waves, curling around Noah's ankles like coiling snakes. The stench hit next. Spoiled nectar turned sour, blood laced with metal, and something older, something floral and decayed, like petals left in a crypt. Noah Sage staggered back, raising an arm to shield his face. His interface flickered violently, the influx of mana scrambling its readout with static and cerebral symbols, and then through the viscous pool of amberic rot, something began to rise. At first, it was no more than a silhouette, soft-edged, almost graceful. But as the slime peeled away from her skin in slow rivulets, detail emerged like sculpture revealed by chisel. Pale flesh gleamed beneath the fluid, not lifeless, but necrotic? Sorry, I can't remember that word. I wrote this last year. Back in published this back in May. Sorry. Shifting like moonlight caught under deep water. The ozone hissed where it struck the roots below her, burning them away like acid rain. Her hair spilled it over her shoulders, long, silver white, and weightless. It floated around her like strands suspended in water, dancing in the motion of her breath. She wore no clothes, yet the scene held no variety, only the terrible purity of something newly born and fundamentally wrong. Her chest rose and fell in deliberate, laboured motion. Each breath seemed to drag something heavy through her ribs, like the act of being alive was burdensome. Her limbs, though delicate, moved with the predatory rhythm, hands unfurling with fingers just a little too long, a little too sharp at the edges. Then came her face. Noah's throat tightened. It was beautiful, terrifying so quickly. Perfect. Not in a human way, but in the way a mask might be, carved into inspired worship, unblisted and ageless, but carrying a stillness that suggested something had forgotten how to move. Hairline fractions ran across her cheeks, like cracked porcelain left too long in the rain. Fine threads of silver catching faint pulses of violet light. Her expression was not peaceful, not scenery, just patient, waiting. Then she opened her eyes. Twin voids, violet and endless, rimmed by delicate fragments of shifting liquid light. They didn't glow. They devoured. They peered not into Noah, but through him, through flesh, through memory, through meaning itself. His lungs stopped working. His interface pointed red with errors. Then it went dead. She stepped forward. The fluid membrane tore behind her in a slow, drawn-out snap. More sludge spilled across the tiles in the viscous sheets. Steam twisted around her like incense at a funeral, framing her in mists and shadows. A mirage of a ghost, a lie given form. Her head tilted up, and she smiled. Not warmly, not cruelly, just an imitation. A perfect, a perfect echo of humanity, played on a broken record. A smile that knew what the motion meant, but not the soul behind it. As if she learned how to love by dissecting those who once had. Noah's heart slammed against his ribs. The temperature dropped, the air buzzed with presence. Static crawled across his skin like spider legs. She didn't move again. Not yet. Just watched him with those hollow, absorbing eyes. Then every instinct he possessed screamed, "Run." Hello, my dears," she said, her voice floating through the air like a lullaby woven through woven from silk and static. It was soft, angelic even, musical in Cassandran, too perfect to belong to something born of flesh. The sound slid into Noah's thoughts with unnatural ease, a warm ribbon of honey and heat that wrapped itself around his mind. It smoothed it and beckoned in the same breath. A siren's lullaby carved it into memory. His fear didn't vanish. It was simply forgotten. Councilman Reeve gasped behind him, the blade in his hand slipping through trembling fingers. I thought I'd just... Nah, I think I still need to do some edits in this fucking book. Oh, God. I feel bad because it's published. It is already a published book. And I'm still noticing little mistakes here and there. I'm still a novice. I'm getting better, but it's just like, fuck. Anyway. His knees buckled as if something inside him had snapped. Snapped. Tears streaking down his face, not from grief, but from redemption. He stumbled forward with desperation kind of reverence and collapsed before her, pressing his palms to the floor in silent worship. You come back. We were wrong to doubt. His voice shook with devotion as he bowed low, forehead touching the slime slick roots now cuddling. Oh my God, I can't do this for some reason. I can't. What's wrong with my throat? His lips moved it in a whisper, mumbling something in a language no one didn't know. Words that felt older than the town, older than the world. Worship, obsession, madness. And just like that, the terror that had been crawling up Noah's spine was gone. It wasn't expelled. It was pushed aside, tucked into some unreachable corner of his awareness. The rot, the horror, the twitching pods, and the stench of decay all faded into a distant haze. Even though his face blurred at the edges of his memory, Jade's voice, once sharp and grounding, slipped from reach like a dream, fading with morning light. And there was only her now. Her presence filled the chamber like gravity, and in its pull, everything else ceased to matter. She needed him. She understood him. She would never leave him. Noah's foot lifted on its own, his body leaned forward. It was taking a step before he realized it. But then, Noah, the voice was not hers. It came not from the chamber, but from within. Quiet, firm, familiar. It cut through the trance, not like a knife, but like sunlight breaking through deep water. Noah, I'll always be there for you, no matter what. His breath caught. The sound didn't pass through his ears. It resonated in his chest, vibrating beneath the layers of fog in his mind. And with it came a memory. A bright afternoon beneath endless blue sky. The soft splash of water at his feet. Laughter rising in lazy spirals over Still Creek water. The scent of eucalyptus and warm sunlight lingering on skin. The distant hum of cicadas. Everly Creek Big Hole. The one place that had never changed it. Untouched by time or the world's decay. Just the two of them that day. His best friend, Dorian. The name surfaced like a heartbeat cracking through ice. The illusion fractured. The room flickered, just for a moment, like a bulb. Wait, Willow, don't bite my toe. No, don't bite my toes. No. God, you little she-devil. Sorry, new kitten. She's has a thing for toes at the moment. Just for a moment, like a bulb stuttering against a power surge. Her perfect skin shimmered too brightly. The golden glow warping into something harsher, rawer. Beneath the light, something moved it. Something that wasn't her skin, but what hid beneath it. Noah blinked it hard, his hands trembling now. The haze lifted inch by inch. Her eyes, once, once deep pools of celestial light, widened. Not gentle, not humanly. The irises splintered like cracked crystal, and the pupils stretched vertically. I really hate having disabilities sometimes. Like those of a predator, the smile on her face lingered too long. Then it twisted, slightly at first and unmistakably wrong. She tilted her head, watching him with an unreadable interest. Not the interest of a lover or a goddess, the interest of a spy watching a court fire stop struggling. Reeve, still kneeling, still blind to it all, reached towards her with shaking hands. "My lady," he murmured, voice soaked in awe. "I knew you would come for me." She looked down at him, her long, elegant fingers descending like a blessing from heaven. They rest gently atop his bowed head for a moment. Then she pushed it. The sound was wet, a crunching, muffled by the give of flesh. Bone cracked it, something ruptured. Noah flinched as Reeves' body convulsed, his spine arching violently. His mouth opened in silent scream as roots surged from the floor, threading through his limbs, curling around his ribs, dragging him down into a pulsating rot like a child returned to the womb. His pleats were strangled by soil and sap. It was gone in seconds. She rose, unbothered, her hand lowering to her side once more. Her beauty remained, but it was different now. The edges warped like porcelain left too long in fire. Her skin rippled as it boiled beneath its surface. Angelic gold flickered to bruised grey, then to slick, pulsing black like the oil coating a dead thing. Her limbs stretched slightly, joints popping audibly as her body lengthened unnaturally. Her ribs were visible now, not from starvation, but because they pushed it outward, distorting the symphony of her torso like something trying to break free from within. Thin, insectant wings unfolded behind her, membrane thin, trembling, veined with sickly light. But still, she smiled. That same pristine smile, fixed, hollow, terrifying. Noah, she said again, although her voice restrained its melodic lift. Something had changed. It was tightened, tingled. I don't know. I was now with distortion, a soft static creeping in around the edges. Don't be afraid. I was made for you. His legs nearly buckled. His interface flickered in the corner of his vision, striding warnings and errors he couldn't even praise. His mind. Oh, sorry, Willow. You gotta stop going near my feet, sweetie. You gotta stop doing that. Yes, run along. Go play with something. Ah, kittens, I swear. His mind reeled. She wasn't divine, she was designed. Not a goddess, but a weapon. And she had just chosen her target. What is it? What is it? She asked. Her head tilted with mock innocence. Her expression, a parody of Curiosity. My illusion is still working. Don't you find me the most beautiful thing you ever seen? She drew her arms inward, pressing her form close like a statue carved from moonlight and marble, an embodiment of seduction sculpted by nightmare. The smile lingered too long, too knowingly. Noah didn't answer. His silence made her frown, only slightly. A fractured, a fraction that cracked the stillness of her features. You should be fawning over me by now, she whispered, her voice deeper. Vows sludging slightly like wax melting in fire. She took her other step forward. The floor beneath her warped with the movement. Stone and root pulsing beneath her bare feet like a heartbeat turned wrong. What is it you hold so deeply in your heart that makes you anew to me? The smile returned, but now it was filled with teeth. The lights overhead gutted out like a gasp, plunging the hall into half darkness. A wave of rotting air spewed through the room, thick and wet, carrying a stench of old blooms and decayed blood. Her body shimmered as she advanced, her perfection waving like a broken rendering, beauty stretched too thin over something alien. Noah stepped back, breathing shallow, heat from his chest clashing with an unnatural cold spilling off her form. The name rain again in his mind like a lifeline. Dorian, cutting through the fog, anchoring him against her pool. She froze mid-step. Something shifted behind her eyes. Her smile faded, not completely, but enough to show strain. Realization dawned. Someone else, she mumbled, as if hearing the truth out loud for the first time. That's what shields you. Her expression changed, not in jealousy, but intent. She smiled. The smile twisted again, sharper now, vengeful. We'll see how long he lasts in your memory, once I finish peeling it away. She extended her hand, not in greeting, not in mercy, in claim. The roots beneath Noah's boots twitched, responding to her will. The air condensed it around him like a vice, tightening until it felt like his lungs were being flattened. His system flared to life, violent, flashing, glitching. Error code spilled across his vision. Red pulses spiraling inward. Wherever she wasn't done, and this was just the beginning. Yeah, look, so that's where I'm gonna leave it. There is a bit more to it. It does get interesting. She goes, her smile returned it. Surreal, wrong. I want to know what love feels like, she said, each word unraveling from her mouth like silk dripped in venom, while I hollow it out. So there's a bit more, switches to a different POV, some other stuff happens, yada 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 yada. Anyway, look, that's gonna be the end of it. Letting you all know my thoughts on the whole Tom fuckery around Stranger Things. I'm not going to really get into it much more. I'm not really a get into it much of a type guy when it comes to shows and stuff. I prefer to, you know, if it warrants a reaction of some type, I will do a reaction. Yeah, look, that's about all I'm gonna do. If you're interested in my book, at some level, if you're interested, it's called World Seedling, Book 1, on Royalty Road and on Amazon as well. Yes, this is a cop out of self-publishment awareness, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, if you enjoyed, I don't know, listening to me ranting, listening to me reading my book, then yeah, I'm happy to do a other chapter that I'm actually pretty happy with. It's a good chapter. It's, well, a good couple of chapters. It's interesting chapters. I might just do a reading of it anyway, just for the fucking sake for it. Oh my god, I need to stop swearing, man. That should be my New Year's. One of my New Year's goes is to limit my swearing. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below. Leave a like down below, comment, and scribbles. Again, why don't I fucking have a good one, everyone? Take care.